are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks.
Welcome. And welcome to the show. I am your host, Joey Wobbs. Today we have Alexis on the show. I did this today because I see a lot of what Alexis says on Twitter. And me and Alexis are homies. Like we talk on a semi-frequently basis. But to lack of a better term, the way I like to call it is nonsense on Twitter. And it's not just from Alex, okay? So I don't want it just to point it directly from Alex. But I've seen a lot of nonsense on Twitter recently. So I just want to bring it to the forefront. I like to bring things right to the front of the stage. We go right here. I got my own channel for that. And I'm bringing it to the forefront on why I feel like our fan base likes to go a little overboard, okay? And I brought Alexis here because I feel like he has some pieces and thoughts that need to be said out loud to like not just my fan base, but to me in general. And then I can feel like I can have a cordial discussion about it. Otherwise, I just start getting angry and like, why is he saying that on Twitter type shit? So like I figured we'd just do it face to face on live and say, hey, let's just air it out. You know what I mean? Like let's not play around. Let's air it out and let's talk about it. So here we are.
Wow.
Big up to everybody in the chat. We had some heads in the chat waiting, like real waiting. Like I think Namaya said big up like an hour early, like before the show. Like big up to everybody though. Big up to Quiz Pursuit. Big up JK. Big up to my nephew, Ator. Reaper, my G Max is in the house. Pequeños in the house. Welcome to everybody. As you guys come in, you know the drill. Make sure you guys sub to the channel if you haven't subbed. I don't know what you're doing if you haven't subbed. I don't know what you're doing. All right. Mr. J Show, my guys. Hey, everyone. I hope everyone's enjoying the World Cup. How are you enjoying the World Cup, my G? Like, are you enjoying the games? Like, what's the thought process? What are we thinking about this World Cup so far? We'll start there.
Firstly, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And like you said, I always think Twitter's such a weird place, right? You write 220 characters. Everyone thinks that's the full definition of your opinion. And sometimes they'll take 3 or 4 words out of what you said. So it like absolutely jumps into a completely, you either love the player or hate the player. There's no balance.
Exactly. There's no gray area there. There's
no gray area. Yeah, you're an extremist. Either way, like there's no
matter
balance.
What. Like, you either love blue color or you hate blue color. There's no gray area. You love the player, you hate the player. No gray area. You know what I'm saying?
Every player as well. But then World Cup's sick, man. I hate the fact, like, this is the wrong channel to say. I hate that it's in the US for time zone reasons. Like, for example, yesterday I had to stay up till...
I'm sorry. You don't get the complaint.
We don't. No, we don't. And I do it for the NBA. So, like, but it's like, you know, yesterday I got home after a party, like, and it was around about 12:30, and I was like, I might as well watch the game. And then it messes up the whole next day. You know, like, you end up waking up at, like, 10, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, I hear that. Hey, you got to understand. Like, you got to understand. For me, it's like, this is just retribution for all the early kickoffs I've had to wake up for. Like, like I'm gonna be honest, I'm on the West Coast over here, so you know, like that early kickoff is a rough one, especially like at certain halves of the year. And I say that because I'm in Arizona, because we don't do daylight savings time in Arizona. So certain times of the year it's 4:30 in the morning, and certain times of the year it's 5:30 in the morning. I gotta wake up for early.
5:30 is fine.
5:30 is okay, right? 5:30 I could do. Like, but that's the thing. It's only certain times of the year. You know what I mean? Like, just because we don't do.
It's because we change our time. So
yeah, exactly.
It impacts you guys.
Your time, we don't change. So it's like, okay, so like everybody's changing, but sometimes it's 5:30 for me, sometimes it's 4:30. So it's just retribution for me. You know what I'm saying? You get to feel my pain. That's all it is. You get to get to take my
but
pain.
It's been a great World Cup, man. It's been
been awesome.
Enjoyable.
You know.
What
I've been enjoying it.
I love that the host nations are doing well. I think that's what I like about it. You know, Mexico's the build up from the Mexican. Like, I was in Mexico a week before the tournament started, and everyone I spoke to was not optimistic at all. They were like, "Nah, this isn't a good Mexico team," and it's nice to see how they're doing, and it's also nice to see the US doing well, purely based on the fact that, like, it's getting a lot of mainstream coverage for you guys because I watch a lot of American talk shows, so it's good for the sport in general.
I love that they're digging their heels in and they're just saying, "All right, we gotta fucking cover this." It's not like a let's just throw Stephen A. Smith in and have him talk about it. It's let's bring in football people that are American football analysts and let's make it a real thing. Like, let's not talk about it and beat around the bush about it. Let's make it a real thing and talk about it. And I love that. Yeah. I honestly love that, how serious it's been. Like, I've been to a couple different parts of the country since the World Cup started. And just seeing the watch parties is so dope. It's been so dope to see everybody. I have coworkers who haven't watched a single little bit of football, and they got favorite players now. They got favorite teams. They come into the office telling me about showing me memes about Mbappe or Haaland. It's just so cool. Like, it's just so cool to like have it be a part of our culture. Like, it's just such a cool experience now that I'm at the age that I'm at, because in '94 I was 2 years old. Like, so I wasn't. It's
completely different.
I wasn't gonna experience it. You know what I mean? So this has been such a good experience for me. I actually went after the Knicks won the title. I went to New York for the parade, and the day after the parade, we were staying in New Jersey, and me, Staffy, RSM, and Marshall all met up. Like, I've never met these people in real life, but we all met up, and we ended up watching Brazil. It was I forget who it was, but Brazil won like 4-0. This is their second game. I forget who they're playing. But we watched Brazil in the Brazil Square in New Jersey. And it was like all the walls were colored yellow. They had like they had billboards, like electronic billboards on one of the walls in the middle of the intersection, and they blocked the intersection off and put the Brazil game on the billboard. So, and then everyone's just sitting in there smoking, drinking, just chilling. It was such a cool experience, bro. Yeah, it was Haiti. It was such a cool experience, bro. Like, I'm just glad it's turned out this way, right? Like,
yeah,
it didn't, like, I feel like there was such a negative connotation towards what it was going to be in the U.S., and it's been the exact opposite of what it was going to be. Pretty much outside of, like, the few things here and there that, like, visa-wise, that really, like, kind of, like, it got shoved under the rug, really. Like, it didn't get as much, like, out there conversation. But it was something that did happen early on. They did figure out a lot of those visas later on. But, like, a lot of the fans coming in that couldn't get visas, that was a whole thing. But I guess, I mean, that could be also preparation. Like, if you going to the USA, you probably should be a little bit more prepared about your visas if you're going to do that.
So, I was going to say, even me, like, I've got a British passport. Going to the US for me is a hassle and a half. Like, you got to apply for an ESTA, and even when you get your ESTA, they tell you there's no guarantee that you're going to get in if immigration on the day doesn't feel like you should get.
Yeah,
bro, at the end of the day, I'm from Georgia, and my dad always says, when you visit someone else's house, you kind of have to follow their rules and be respectful, because you're the one choosing to go there.
Right. So
you can't go and impose your own rules somewhere else.
I'm just glad it's turned out this way, though. Overall, I'm kind of glad it's turned out the way that it has. It feels like what the World Cup's about. It's about bringing everyone together into one place, assimilating each other's cultures in a time and place, and enjoying it because of what it's supposed to be meant for. Enjoying it.
Agreed.
Agreed. I'm glad that it seems like everyone is enjoying it. Let me just do a couple things with the World Cup before we get into Chelsea stuff. Let's do who's been your favorite team in this tournament?
To watch?
To watch, yeah. Because, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, they're the best team, but who's your favorite team?
Japan. So both Japanese games I've watched. Like I watched the Holland one was really fun to watch. I like how versatile. Like so for me, they've been really enjoyable to watch. Weirdly enough, I've really enjoyed watching France. I don't usually enjoy watching them because of Deschamps and the way he sets the team up. But they're so stacked. I call them like a Team USA. You know, whenever they go to the World Cup, it's like if Mbappe doesn't beat you, Dembele will beat you. If Dembele doesn't beat you, Doué will beat you.
Chat, I want you guys to get involved too. Who's your favorite? Who's been your favorite team to watch in the World Cup? Like
the Messi show. Every time we watch Messi, it's like the last time.
Yeah, so we expect it to be the last time at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you're like, shit, this is gonna be the last time I need to kind of.
I know, but I don't know if it's me being like a pure-blooded Chelsea fan, families like Real Madrid, but I just can't stand, man. I just can't.
Really?
So that's
me and Ronaldo. That's me and Ronaldo. He triggers me.
Bro. For me, it's I don't like Ronaldo either. I just don't like his arrogance. Like, but I don't like either of them. That's the thing. Is like, oh, you're like Messi, so you're a Ronaldo fan. Nah, like don't like that guy either. I don't like either. I would like that guy either. Like that's kind of how it is for me. But for me, nephew hit it on the head for me. And there's one. Morocco for me has been one of my favorite teams to watch. It's been I've been really enjoying how well Saibari's been playing up top, first and foremost. And I love the Buati kid. I love him. Everything about him, I love him. Everything about he just has a sense of Busquets. I haven't had a player that gives me the feel of what Busquets was since Busquets. Like there isn't even Rodri doesn't give you the Busquets type of I can have the ball in front of me here, and as long as the ball's underneath my feet, you're probably not getting it off of me. Like I'm just.
But you know what I like about him?
So
he's so calm on the ball, and he's very much relaxed. I think a lot of his game will develop with time, and maybe we'll see more of the progressive passing. But that's why I don't want him anywhere near Chelsea. Like I want him to stay as far away from these big clubs as possible.
Well, I think we'll have that conversation here in a second because we're gonna have the conversation behind Xhaka and all that other good guys here in a second.
Do you know who's disappointed me? Brazil as a whole have disappointed me. I know their results have been favorable, like they destroyed Scotland, but it was a lot. They pinched it off them trying to play out the back. I thought the Morocco game they should have lost.
Yeah, they definitely
I don't think they
lost the Morocco game.
Like I think Haiti is a game that it's a no-win game. If they don't win it, if they don't win it, it's
no matter what, it's a bad thing. If they win it, they don't really get no credit for it. Like
so, you're not gonna get. For me, it was like I wanted the nostalgia with Brazil. I wanted to see Neymar, and hopefully we'll see him in the knockout stages. But it's our age, right?
I think my problem with Brazil, it has a sour taste in my mouth because this should have been Esteval's World Cup. Like,
agreed.
That kind of gives me a sour taste, regardless. Like, no matter what and who they put out there, like I truly believed it should have been Esteval's World Cup to like show himself on the world stage.
That's why I don't want them to win it.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, this would have been the perfect tournament. The amount of space the kid would have had, like, to just operate and take people on. Like it would have been the perfect tournament for him. So like that's why it rubs me the wrong way when I watch Brazil.
Especially what happened with Rafinha as well. It would have been his. Like he would have been Ryan.
Yep, exactly. And he would have done more than Ryan. He would have done.
And I think he's better than Ryan, even though I've got Chelsea fans telling me, "Oh no, we got the wrong one. We got the less athletic player." It's fine. Like we'll talk in 6 months' time.
Yeah, that's fine. You just sit and wait. There's a reason why he got called up before him. Ryan was playing as well as he was, and Esteval was still getting called up. So I don't really want to hear that. Switzerland is the other team. And it's not for Xhaka's reason, actually. It's actually not because of Xhaka.
It's Mbappe.
I'm a football connoisseur. right? We all know this. Everybody knows. Watch my channel. I watch a lot of football overall. So I was already watching this kid before the World Cup, and I knew that if he got his chance, he was going to succeed. So Johan Manzambi has been playing football for Freiburg last year. Freiburg ended up in the Europa League final. There's a reason for that. And he had especially the second half of the season was absolutely going crazy. Though just from what he was doing, because he's such an enigma of a footballer. It's almost he has so many good traits. You could put him anywhere. Like for Freiburg, he plays deep line playmaker. And it's almost like a box-to-box playmaker, if you want my honest opinion. It's not necessarily just a deep line playmaker, but he'll pick up the ball off of the center backs. He'll drive with it. He'll create with it. And it's very interesting because he's doing this all from central areas. Then you have him come on for Switzerland, where I'm thinking, okay, they're going to put him next to Xhaka in a three-man midfield. Like have him operate picking up the ball off of Xhaka or being able to pick up the ball and drive with it so they have better progression. No, they decided, let's play this kid at winger. I tell you, that you have the type of instant impact this kid had. He comes on 1-1 against Bosnia. This is 60-something-ish minutes. 1-1 against Bosnia. Comes in, instantly puts a through ball in for Bosnia to get a red card. Within a minute of him coming in, he puts a ball in where Bosnia's defender, he gets put in no man's land, absolute no man's land. And they played him left wing and right wing, by the way. This is two separate games. First game, they play him at left. Second game, they play him at right. He comes in, he does that. Then, about 4 minutes later, he assists for a goal. 6 minutes later, he scores. Okay, game over. Switzerland beat Bosnia 4-1. Next game, he starts the game at right wing. He assists for the first goal, scores the second goal, comes off the pitch at 60th minute. They win 3-1. He walks off the pitch just the way he operates was just so fun to watch. It was just so fun to watch. The ability to take a man on. The ground coverage is the most, it's just an odd combination of football. Like he can take his man on like a winger. He covers ground like a midfielder. He wins his duels like a defensive midfielder. The guy, if you put him on a graph in duel percentage and duel rates, you put him on a graph. Spencer Molson did this the other day. He puts it on a graph, and who's he right next to? Elliot Anderson. And ground coverage and all these traits, but he could go and take a man on like a winger. Like
I've got a question.
The kid is it's an enigma of a player. I'm telling you. Go ahead.
Because I don't know much about him, so it will be good to talk to someone that's watched him extensively like you. What's he like against A, low blocks, and B, in tight areas where it's congested? Does he have the vision to?
He operates best. That's the thing. It's not because I don't think he has this blistering pace. Like I don't think there's this level of blistering pace that he has. He doesn't have like this. Oh, I'm gonna really separate from you. Right? Like it's, I have the ball underneath my feet and I'm going to be able to get by not one, but maybe 2, 3. And then put in some type of quality ball.
Interesting.
He knew exactly who I was talking about.
That's so interesting. It'll be one. So he's the next one to move for big money, right?
I hope I expect someone to get him before that big money move. Because he's kind of going under the radar. Like he truly is kind of going under the radar because he's at Switzerland, because he's at Freiburg. It's not your prototypical, I'm coming from Dortmund, I'm coming from Leipzig. Like I'm coming from Brighton, I'm coming from Brentford, I'm coming from it's not your prototypical that. So I kind of think he probably gets that move before he gets a move into one of these other places, which is unfortunate.
As he should.
Right?
No.
It's unfortunate.
Do you know, it's a problem that we live in a world now, right? Where we skip so many steps in life. I feel like you need to go to Bournemouth for 2 years before you make your move to the biggest clubs. I feel like there's so much learning, and we buy players at 2021 as big clubs, when in reality we should be buying them at 23, 24, and they're ready to cut. They've earned their move to the biggest stage and they hit the ground running.
Okay,
whereas
let me ask you that. Let me ask you something. Would you have considered Elise moving from Palace? That means Elise would have had to make a move from like Palace to Dortmund before he made his move to Munich. You see what I'm saying?
But didn't Elise play like over 120 Premier League games? If I'm like, he's already put his.
He did have a lot of playing time under his belt, correct? But
like,
it wasn't. But I wouldn't say he was playing at that highest level either.
No. But
it was still a chance because A, he had his injuries, and then B, like he wasn't like he was playing real well, but he wasn't like lighting it up. Like,
no.
He just needed the platform to light it up. You know what I mean?
But do you not think, right? And I think this is always something we forget. If he moved to Chelsea rather than the Bayern move, do you not think the spotlight of being in the Prem, needing to be the main guy from the outset, where you don't have a Harry Kane, you don't have the partner, like Bayern are expected to win that league comfortably. So if he has 1 or 2 bad games, no one's coming down at him as hard because they're most probably going to win those games. When you win, people are more patient. And I think that jumps a lot easier going from Palace to a Bayern where you're in clearly the best league, rather than, in my opinion, a jump to a Liverpool or an Arsenal or a Man City where every time you drop points, people are going to I think we've got to a point where we're hyper-analyzing every little detail of a player's game.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying realistically, the way that you feel about it is Bayern really is a step down from the top level of the Premier League, realistically. So it's not as much of a jump of what you're saying. Yes. It's not like this.
Not that they're a smaller club.
The scrutiny isn't going to be as high. Because also there is a level of here's the thing though too, is like Bayern have other people they could point the finger to. That's the other thing. Yeah. Where I think if you did go to a Liverpool, there is other people you can point the finger at. You know what I mean? If Elise and Hugo are there or Isak there, you could still point the finger to Isak or like one of their midfielders. There's other people you could point that finger at. I think that's kind of the thing with Chelsea at this point is like, how many people do we have to point the finger at that are actually like at the top level? You know what I'm saying? And that's why Cole's gotten the stick that he's gotten in the last year. But like, I just think that I don't necessarily think it's like that difference of a level just based off of scrutiny from fan base and that. But I see where your point is overall.
Like my favorite example of a player making a move at the right time is Declan Rice.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, Rice, he built up a name, even though I think he's very limited on the ball in the sense, like, when there's a low block and he needs to open up and there's so much improvement in his game to come. Off the ball, he really nurtured himself. And when he made the move to Arsenal, it wasn't a matter of settling into the league, being a professional. It was, can I hang? That was the only worry point for him because everything else, the answers, like the fee's worth it. You know what you're almost getting.
Here's the thing is, I don't think and to bring this back to Manzambi, right? Just to bring this back to Manzambi.
Yeah.
Because that's where the conversation starts. I don't think the price point would be as exorbitant as some of these other price points that we're talking about. Okay. I think that's first and foremost just something to speak on. I don't think it would be more than 60 million. And that's in euros, by the way. I also think, like, at his age, because he's only 21, like, at his age, where he is age-wise, is, like, that if you're going to sell him at Freiburg, this is, like, where you would sell him to get the most amount of money because you're going to get upside price rather than potentially what his
Really?
level is priced. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yep,
especially
totally
especially off of the World Cup, right? Especially off of this World Cup, the way that he's like, if you were to tell me, Alexis, who's the young player of the tournament right now, it's
You
him.
would say him.
Yeah, it's him. And depending on how far Switzerland go, he still could win it. Like, because Yamal hasn't like done anything in this tournament.
One tap in.
Yeah, he has a tap in. Like, he hasn't done anything.
One tap in.
Like, Manzambi has, I think he has 3 goals, 3 assists at this point. So like he's easily should get a call up. I'm gonna take this as far as this. If you put all the other right-footed players that are available, right-footed attackers that are available in the market, like for me, he's one of the top players on that list. Like for me, just on a quality level, he's easily one of the top players on this list. And it doesn't have to be for us, even though I'm gonna sing to the hills for us to try to go get him because I think it fits with the style of play that we're gonna go play. Like his style, the amount of ground coverage, the physicality, just like I think Ndai and him are right there at just depending on what style of player. Do you want a super high level technical player? You go Ndai. If you want a more physical, robust player who has a quality on the ball, like when I say quality on the ball, I'm talking about delivery. I'm not just talking about him dribbling. I'm talking about his delivery. When he puts the ball on
and decision making, I'm guessing, right?
Decision making. Him being able to understand when to take a man on and when not to take a man on. Like these are the things that you look at that you're like, all right, what style do I want? Right? It's a style thing to me. It's not I think this guy's way better than this guy, or I think this guy's way better than this guy. It's a style thing. And I think Manzambi has a decision-making edge on him. I think he has a physicality edge on him. And I personally think it's like for profile for a 3, he's a better profile for a back 3, right? That with those 2 inside players. He's a better profile for a back 3 for those reasons, right? Mazza is another great example, but I'm just very worried about Mazza's physicality. Extremely worried for him to go from where he is to the Premier League at his age with his strength. I'm just not. I'm not ready to give him that yet. I think he's a fantastic player, though. Another conversation. Mazza, I would put underneath and die in the technical bucket, right? Rather than the physicality bucket, I'll put him in the technical bucket. I think that there's not a ton of these right-footed players right now, which is actually kind of crazy to think about, first and foremost. Because it used to be everyone was right-footed. Now everyone seems to be left-footed somehow. Like, what are we just that has really surprised me how many the top-end quality of right-footed players is just odd to me. Like, why is it that way at this current moment? It's like everybody and their kids was like, oh, we got to teach them to kick with their left, and then all of a sudden they can't kick with their right. Like I don't grasp that yet, why that's the case. To me right now, I just want to see with Chelsea a level. Everybody that we have has a certain level of physicality. Like I don't want to see people being pushed off the ball the way that I was seeing people being pushed off the ball over the last 2 years. Like that's just a plain and simple fact of the nature of where I'm at with the team. We just because the amount of physicality that's allowed against our football club is, I'd say, probably a little bit more than some of the other clubs that are out there, and we just watch players just fall over way too often. Like, way too often for my liking. Not specifically our fucking center backs. Like, our center backs should not be falling over as much as they fall over.
We've got soft center backs. Soft center backs.
It infuriates me. So let's move on to Chelsea, okay?
Let's do it.
Let's let's go. Let's start with this, Alexis. What have you made of the new policy? Do you think, because there's obviously a change in policy, right? Like we can't now say with what we've seen so far, we can't now say there isn't a change of policy. We can't, right? We know that there's a change of policy. So what have you made of the change of policy so far?
It's hard to judge the policy right now purely based on the fact that I like the silence. If that's a change in policy, it's not as public.
I think that's why I didn't give you any specifics on it.
Yeah, I like that. That for me stands out.
I think that there's so much to it, right? Like, I think the aspect of the way that we're moving media wise, I think the age profile of player, the physicality profile, and the aspect that I feel the manager has more involvement in the conversation. I think that I think that's why I'm saying a change of profile, a change of strategy, because it's not necessarily just one thing, right? Like I don't necessarily think it's just one thing.
I think for me, the silence is beautiful. I like it. I don't want to know when Fabrizio's tweets, oh, Gittins went into the shower and he's dreaming about the Chelsea move. Oh, Gittins went for a shit. Now he's dreaming about the Chelsea move. He told his friends at dinner. I don't want to know that. Just tell me the move is done. Or, the way we handled that Marco deal, Palestra, beautiful. Mm-hmm. Within 24, 48 hours, boom, 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 everything's announced. Even the Lacroix deal, right? We know we've got an agreement with him. Player wants to join. It's gone silent. That's how I like it.
And all the news is just recycled news. Like pretty much all the news that just keeps on coming out, which is something that like I want people to really understand. Like, it's
the same shit sources that need to do something because they're paid to write.
Exactly.
So that they will and you know what? I don't care. Like most probably I might.
They're probably paid to have a certain amount of tweets a day. That ass.
Yeah.
Like there's probably something in their contract to give out a certain amount of information. I'm talking about Ben Jacobs, Nazar Kinsella, Bobby Vincent. They probably have a certain
Kieran
amount of
Gill. It's the same shit over and over again, worded differently.
They all have to at least have a certain amount of information go out every single day. A certain amount of information.
And I'm convinced it's, I think our admin has this as well. The Chelsea admin. There's an impressions target that they need to hit for the month. It's like a quota, most probably, to prove. Because we all work in like corporate industries. There are metrics that you get basically tracked by. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, oh, we need to get X amount of followers or X amount of impressions on these tweets. That the name Chelsea needs to come up this many times. And hence, they're just going to resign. How many times have we heard Enzo's spoken to Real Madrid? Enzo's agreed terms with Real Madrid. No, he has not agreed terms. Mm-hmm. There's been no discussions. He's not doing anything.
Do you see how we have Real Madrid moving to get Enzo, though? They're literally willing to burn the bridge with Como to try to get this Enzo deal done.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what's kind of going. Like it literally, like, to me, it's just like the thing is people their expectation for the way that things should move can't move in the way that people think it's going to. And Reaper, I understand why people think, like, for you, like, as a fan, to have this feeling right here that you have on the screen right here, is absolutely acceptable. Like, I'm never going to sit here and tell you that you don't have the right to feel the way that you feel about these deals just based off of how we've moved in the past, right? But I'll tell you, just from the information I have and from what I know that this deal is much further along than people want to accept. Okay, so like the thing here is like they want 5-10 million more than what Brighton got for Van Heck, and like we're just like, come on, man, let's just put this in add-ons, pretty much. In eventuality, this is a deal that gets done, and I think it gets done probably post World Cup. The other side of this is people have to understand pre-fiscal, post-fiscal in this case. because like there's only a certain amount of money that we can spend in each fiscal year. The fiscal year ends, by the way, in 3 days, 4 days, right? It's July 1st is the new fiscal year for football. So like realistically, like there's gonna be certain deals that they can get done before the year ends, and there's some deals that they can get done after the year ends. And that's really what they did. It's just like, oh, we got Cucurella done before the year ends, so we're gonna get Palestra done before the year ends too. And that way, it meets the fiscal properties that it needs to meet, right? Like that's just realistically what they did. And then it's just kind of the same thing. It's like Chalaba will go post fiscal, and LaCroix will come in post fiscal, just to meet the match of it.
Which is normal. Like I think it's normal. I think we've been burnt so many times that people just don't believe it, and I fully understand. However, there are some things that I'm seeing from Chelsea fans I don't like, and I'll have this argument. There was, we should only get EPL players moving forward. I think that's a stupid decision. I think you're paying a tax on every time you get an EPL player, and there's no guarantee that EPL player is better than what you're going to get on the market. I think you can go to France and get a potential Adam Wharton. You know, like I'm just throwing a name out there for 40, 50 minutes. Like,
there is. There definitely is. Like I could tell you names that could replace the players that we're talking about at similar qualities, at similar levels. It's just you don't know the name because you don't watch France. And I watch France. I watch France. I watch Germany. So like I could tell. I'll tell you for free. I don't watch Spain. I don't watch Spanish football. Period. You tell me the new kid that came out today that we got linked with. I haven't watched a single minute of this guy. Not one. Bro, I won't lie to you. But when you tell me, if you ask me about a player from Como, I'll be able to tell you up and down whether they are, because I love Como. I watch Como week in, week out. If you ask me, Joe, have you watched how many games of Stuttgart did you watch this year? 30. Like I watched a fuck ton of Stuttgart this year, which equals me watching Freiburg twice a year, which equals me watching Leverkusen twice a year, and if not more than that, because I'll watch more Bundesliga games on top of it. So like this is where I don't like the conversation of like, oh, you haven't watched the player. Bro, I've watched quite a bit of football this year.
And this is the argument, right?
Not me, right? I'm not talking about just me, because I'm talking about like the way that our fan base moves, right? Our fan base moves is, I just watched a clip of Palestra. And I'm just like, okay. I watched Palestra play Como twice and absolutely destroyed them on the right-hand side. Like, he destroyed everybody on the right-hand side last year. That's why he was Defender of the Year last year. Like, he just literally, there wasn't a team in Italy that this guy didn't fuck up. He fucked up everybody.
But you see, this kid that we're linked with, not kid, this man, he's 28 years old.
Yeah.
I think his name's Pep Chavarez or something like that, right? I've never heard of him. So I can't say he's shit. But what I can say is, and I'm using probability here, right? I'm looking at it from a logical standpoint. At 28, never had a Spanish under-21 cap, never had a Spanish call-up. If you were anything half decent, the likelihood is, by 28, Sevilla, Valencia, Villarreal, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, we would have heard of you. So
the likelihood, right?
The likelihood, right? So now you're taking a player. He might have all the characteristics, but can he transfer at 28 to the Prem? I think there's just so many question marks and risks assigned to it. How about you just pay the extra 20 million, go get a Maxi Araujo, who ticks maybe more boxes, or go pay the little bit extra, buy once rather than pay cheap and buy 3 or 4 times.
I think the problem is that like, and I'm always very weary about this level of player, because we have other football clubs. Like, here's the thing: is like I don't always take things at face value. Okay, like I think that's something that a lot of us football fans need to start realizing when, especially comes to our football club. Okay, with the way translation works. Okay, the telephone theory. All right, you put your phone here, you get told something, and then you have to tell something from this year, right? You got to tell something to this year, right? With that telephone theory, I don't expect everything to go translation to translation, and actually, especially with the power of our name, because that's been a thing for years, by the way. The power of our name being involved just it turns the conversation. It creates a conversation, right? So I don't necessarily believe that everything that comes into play with our football club is something that you can take in from face value. I always say I always have to go and double check. I have friends who are agents in this world, right? I have friends who are agents in the football world in Germany. I'll go ask, see if they have anything in their transfer portal that they can go in and see what is being offered for these players, right? And realistically, what I want from this is what I want people to understand is every time we get linked with a player, it doesn't mean it's for this club. We have another club that we have to staff for. Okay. And when we get linked with a player who's coming from a relegation side, my first instinct is probably for Strasbourg in some way, shape, or form.
But do you not think the age characteristic kind of, because normally that would be my reaction. But for me, it was like, he's 28. Everyone they buy for Strasbourg is either 18 to 23. They literally have, I don't think.
See, yes and no. Because I thought the same thing with Doué, and he was turning 24, 25, 26. He was just going into that prime.
He's really good. I like him, by the way.
Yeah, and they're going to get good money for him this summer. I don't want to put these people in a corner anymore. Like I'm starting to give more benefit of the doubt based off of the way they're moving and who I feel like is actually running the show. Like I don't feel like we have the same people running the show anymore. Like I just don't. It's a totally different model of the way that they're moving. And I believe that when they brought in Dave Follows, I believe the reason they brought him in was to just tighten everything up. Was his idea, the way that things were moving, it was just too expansive. Everything was just going like this. And every piece of news was getting further and further away from the source. And it's like, what he's done is he's taken it and just brought it into a square and said, this is the people that will know right here. These people that will know until the information that's necessary needs to go up. Not only that, I'm going to be the one to make the decision. You guys can all come around and tell me I'm the one making the fucking decision in the end. Okay? And he probably has Xabi Alonso here, right here, standing right here when he makes that decision. Right here at his hip. Because there's no reason otherwise. There's no reason otherwise.
It is so interesting, isn't it? How I'm just excited for the football to start, I'll be honest. That's when, preseason, like I don't want the World Cup to end. I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. But I do want to get to a place where we've got a little bit more clarity of what's happening. Because if we actually look at the team, if we have Jackson and Joao Pedro, I'll be happy with that. Because I think that's a good 1-2 punch. You have a clear, definitive number one. You have a number two that can put some pressure on. The four in behind, I think we need one more. I really do. Because I like Estevao and Palmer. I think they're the clear starters. Mm-hmm. I think Kenda in that position, he came through as a 10 at youth team level. I know that for a fact.
He's a hell of a passer, bro.
He's pass first. He's not I think a lot of people, whenever I read people's takes on Kenda, I understand how much they've seen of him or they know of him. Because if they tell me he's this direct one-on-one demon, they don't watch him. Because he's not a direct one-on-one demon. His favorite thing is to cut in and try slide a pass through.
And he's very good at it.
And he'll develop. He has got athleticism. But that's the second trait for him. It's his IQ and his technical ability that makes him as special as he is. So I think him in the pockets would be good. I do think we need one more. I'm not saying this player because I don't think we can get him, but Fermin Lopez prototype. You know, someone that can drop into the 8 and make a free, or someone that can literally pick up pockets, and that
Just
for
watch
me,
my boy. Watch my boy.
Like, so for me, that's what I think is integral. And if we sell Enzo, that's the player we need to go reinvest. I don't think we're gonna get like for Enzo. I don't think we're gonna get the.
I don't think we should either.
Neither.
I don't think we should. I don't think there's an actual reason to do so.
I've got a question for you then, because I've got asked this and I had no clue. If we get Xhaka to be the starter next to Caicedo, and we get a younger piece, someone that can essentially develop alongside. So it'll be Xhaka, Caicedo. Behind them, it will be Asugo and Santos. So that's the 4.
I think Asugo gets sent out on loan, but continue.
So then Lavia. So do you understand what I mean?
All right, so let's talk about Xhaka. I
think he's brilliant.
Let's talk about Xhaka, okay? I think quality, let's start with quality of player, of where he is right now, okay? Let's just, for the conversation, let's just start there, all right? If you watch him in any game, he's played 30 games, 30 out of 38 games for Sunderland he played. If you watched him in any of those games, you can tell he was their most important player almost every single time he was on the pitch. When you watch him for Sunderland or for Switzerland, he is one of the most important players on that team every time he's on the pitch. Okay? I think that if this is a guy who wants to come to our football club and Xabi Alonso wants him, I say go for it. Okay? Now, is he the direct replacement to Enzo Fernandez? Okay? I'm going to tell you no. All right?
No,
who I think he replaces is the guy who was supposed to be a rotational piece for us all year last year. Okay? I think he replaces Romeo Lavia. Okay? If you can't trust this player to play 20 games a season, then he is not a footballer. He is not an asset to us. If he can't play 20 games a season,
he's an expense.
He's not an asset.
He's just an expense.
I've been the biggest defender of this guy. I've defended this guy to the hills because I believe in his fucking talent. I know when I watch him, I know how good of a footballer he is. I know how good of a footballer he is. But if he can't play 20 games, then he is not a footballer for us. He can't play football for us. He needs to go to in Italy or Spain where it's not as much running, and he can do his thing in another place where he's not at shit. Look at Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati, injury after injury after injury. He got to play at Monaco this year. He played 25 plus games. He went 10-10. He scored 10 goals. He had like 6 assists or something like that. Had a good season. Looks like he's getting his career back in line. We need to do something very similar to that for him. He needs to go somewhere where he can play football and not have that type of pressure, not have that type of pressure, not just on himself, but on his body, because his body isn't holding up. So that's, to me, if we're getting Xhaka, that's who he replaces. Because Lavia was supposed to play way more this year.
Yeah, way more. I think Santos played more minutes than he was meant to. Like, I think when they sat at the start, I actually think I was worried that Santos would want to leave this summer. You know, because I was like, oh, he won't get enough minutes. Whereas I think the opposite happened. Santos played too much. We gave him a role that was far too large. Like, especially when Rafinha came in, he became a bona fide starter. It got even bigger. Like, he empowered him to another level.
Correct.
And it's not that I don't think the kid's bad. I just think he needs time. Like, he needed to settle in. I think he's going to be a much better player next year than he was last year.
But I'm going to tell you something. If you put Santos next to Xhaka and we need to rest Caicedo, it works out perfect. It actually works out perfect. It works out so perfectly. You have a guy who understands the position. He understands his position, and he understands Santos' position. You have Santos, who has all the legs in the world that you need. Dual winning, does everything that a midfielder could do. The two combination in a pivot, it's a great pivot still. Even without Caicedo. I'm talking without our best player. You put without our best player out there, Caicedo, who I believe is our best player. If you take our best player out of the mix and you have to play Santos, Xhaka, we're fine.
We're fine. And for me, that's what makes it good. And the other aspect of it, leader. And I know people say, oh, how do you measure that? You measure that by influence at multiple clubs. At Arsenal, in my opinion, he was a clear leader the first year. You know, when they went where they overachieved, where no one thought they were going to compete. And then they got Rice in instead of him. In my opinion, I think they made the team worse at that point because I thought Xhaka was a better left 8 than Rice is, in my personal opinion.
They should have played together.
Yeah.
Then he went together.
Went to Leverkusen.
Rice and Xhaka should have played together. You have a box-to-box guy who could cover a lot of ground and win duels, and you have a deep line playmaker who can win his duels and cover Rice in behind. It's a perfect mix. You basically, and by the way, Arsenal fans were saying it themselves after they bought Rice. They were saying we shouldn't have gotten rid of Xhaka in that season. That next season, that's why they ended up with Zubamendi. It literally the reason why, because they needed a Xhaka.
They went and got Jorginho. They went and got
Jorginho
straight.
Jorginho, exactly. They played better with Jorginho next to Rice.
100%. And for me, this is exactly what we need right now to nurture a Santos, to nurture a Sugo. It's one thing about being a professional footballer by yourself. It's another thing living like a professional footballer. Say what you want about Xhaka. You never hear huge controversies about him. He's always he's a professional. And for me, and he's got a little bit of bite. We're not going to get bullied.
A little bit of shit house on top of it, which we lost. We lost our shit house, by the way.
Shoots from
our
distance.
Only shit house on our team we lost, by the way. The only guy who's a shit house on our team we lost. Literally.
And we're going to lose the second guy now. We have two. Enzo as well.
Yeah.
Enzo as well.
I'll give Enzo his. I'll give Enzo that too. Yep. The only guy
that
to me, I don't give a fuck about the age. Sign him on a 2-year +1. Don't give a shit. That's how I.
And
feel.
You know what else? A lot of people are saying of the fee.
Here's the thing, Alexis. You were bringing up, if we get Xhaka, now we can get a younger option to back him up. That might cost us a little bit more. And that's where I see us be. If we were to go get a Buwadi to play behind Xhaka to learn off of Xhaka until he was ready, we're fine.
Smart move.
It would work out perfectly. 2-year +1. By the time Xhaka's done, Buwadi's 21, and you have 21-year-old Xhaka. You have a 21-year-old Buwadi next to a 25, 26-year-old Caicedo. By the way, I did see more of the Kone links too.
Is that the French guy?
Yes, with the dreads.
Yeah, I like it. He looks good.
He is good.
It's I haven't seen extensive.
He's a little bit older too, by the way. He's a little bit older.
Is that the guy that was at Mönchengladbach before?
Yep, correct.
He was cold and then he disappeared for a period, and I don't know why.
He got injured. He had back-to-back years where he got injured.
Because he was good, and I think he went to Roma, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And after that, I lost full track of him. I didn't see here, and then I saw him at the World Cup a few.
See, here's my problem. If you're asking me, get Adam Wharton. If you're asking me what player, if Xhaka, Adam Wharton, inshallah, we're good. But I'm not spending I do not want to spend $100 million. I would rather split this money up and get more quality players in different positions. That's the way I look at it.
There's one controversial thing that I'll say, and the chat might jump on me. I don't want many English players in the team. And the reason is because they're perennial losers. English players don't win much. They don't. And it happens on a regular basis, you know? They're overhyped. The media puts them on a pedestal where they don't belong very quickly. And then what ends up happening is they come and their deficiencies get masked. And I don't want
Wharton,
this.
Though, the one thing with Wharton is I actually believe how good he is. That's the problem. He's the only guy in England's team that can give me what Carrick gave England. And they didn't use Carrick enough in the England sides. Like, Carrick was their only true deep line playmaker. This is their only real deep line playmaker that they've produced in the entire country. That's at the level that's necessary. And he's super
talented.
They decide, nah, we're not going to bring him to the World Cup.
But he's not ready for this is my argument, right? Can you and
I'm
the
just not
chat loves
spending
him.
$100 million on him.
He's not £100 million player.
I'm just not.
We've lost track of what $100 million is meant to be. Like, Anderson is not $116 million player. I'm sorry. You can't control a game against Ghana and Panama.
Moved, and especially now that Anderson moved, you can't ask Palace to take less than $100 million.
You can't. And they shouldn't.
Problem.
And they shouldn't.
Exactly. And they shouldn't. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. As a person who watches Stuttgart on a consistent basis, they have two midfielders we could get that are as good as Wharton. Two. They have two midfielders that are as good as Wharton. And you will spend 40 on both. 40 to 50 on both. You could get both of them for the price of Wharton. Literally. Like, they have two midfielders. Chima Andres is probably better than Wharton. He's probably better because he's better defensively. Angelo Stiller is equal, if not better, than Wharton in passing.
I've heard a lot about this Stiller.
Sangare from Lens. Better dueler, better dribbler, better out the press than Wharton. Equal passer. He's a brilliant player. Brilliant.
Joey, you watched Strasbourg a lot.
Kamara from Monaco. Equal to Wharton in every single statistical category. Every single one. I've
got a question. Barco, deep line playmaker. Everything I've seen of him, he looks good. Do you think if he played for Palace, we would be linked with him?
Caicedo bosses everybody, bro.
Bro, I'm saying
He
Barco.
bossed Vitinha. I know. I'm just talking to this.
Oh.
He bossed Vitinha. Like,
bro, Caicedo is one of the best in his position. Yeah, and I think that's what we forgot.
I'm saying, bro, like,
we don't shop at that table anymore.
Against Caicedo, we got him. Like,
no, bro. There's someone in your chat.
Here's the thing. I'm a huge fan of Barco. Okay, I'm one of Barco's biggest fans. I think talent-wise, he's as good as any of these kids. Right. I just want him to show what his quality is. But I also believe under this manager, he's going to use him like Grimaldo. Like, I just, that's the way I see it. Like, I don't see it in any other real facet other than that. I see Barco, I think he's brilliant in every facet. But I see this manager specifically using him like Grimaldo.
Okay, no, I agree. I can see that as well. Especially now that we got Marco on the other side.
Yep.
One will do the Frimpong role where he's going crazy and running left.
And
left,
he's way
right,
more
center.
physical than Frimpong. I'm telling, this kid is a monster, bro. He's a monster. Like, the way that he covers ground, and it's not the quick Frimpong style. He's covering ground with strides. Like, he's like, dude, did you see the dribble numbers? I didn't the dribble numbers are insane.
I thought they were fake.
Wingback. The dribble numbers are insane. That's an insane number. I don't care if he's playing in Italy. I don't care about none of that. The dribble numbers are insane. I think he's appreciated for his athleticism. I think his athleticism is underappreciated. Just because he's short doesn't make him unathletic. Just make sure that you understand that.
But I think a lot of people confuse athleticism with just running power. Like, for example, they say Enzo struggles to run quickly. But Enzo's physicality, if you look at like the number of duels won, like challenges won, especially when we like are in close proximity, Enzo's a very good defensive-minded. Like he's an 8. He's an old school 8. He just doesn't excel the way people want him to excel for the price that we paid.
I mean, Barco wins more duels than Enzo. He wins more duels than Warren.
Argentinian players have a good bite to them. Like they work hard. So it's not working hard is one thing you can never say they don't do.
No one said he's a generational talent. No one said he's elite. No one said Barco's elite or a generational talent or any of that shit. I just think he's going to be a good squad player for a football player.
I don't even think Enzo's a generational talent. I want to make that abundantly clear. I don't think Enzo's like this one generational talent that we're going to speak about for years to come. I think he's a good 8. I think he had talents that could have developed him into a generational, but he just hasn't developed the way you expect him to develop. I think we'll remember him for years to come, but we'll never talk about him like one of the greats.
I think that I don't think he'll ever be a great, but I think a move to Madrid is just going to benefit his stature, just in general.
100%.
Like just in general, it's gonna help his stature because he's gonna be playing against Pedri twice a year, 3 times a year. Like he's gonna be going up against these midfielders that he should be going up against. Truly, like he should be going up against these guys because I do believe he has the quality that's necessary to play in that league specifically. In our league, physicality in the midfield is it's so necessary because of the way that these English teams, like the middle table and the bottom table of the English Premier League it's just all athletes. It's just if you're not athletic, you'll just get outrun everywhere. Yeah. Like it's just how our league is. And that's why our league in this current moment will always be behind. Our league will always be behind the other leagues that are more technical than us because we have to play a certain brand of football that forces us to that is more of a wear and tear to our teams than any other style in Europe. And that's why the City treble is so incredible because they had both. They had the technical and the physical levels to continue between 3 competitions. Like, that's why it's so impressive. Like, for another team to be able to do that, they have to build a certain style of team and have a certain manager to be able to get it done. Like, it's so difficult to do in other leagues, in this league specifically compared to other leagues. So much more difficult. Not only that, these other leagues have their leagues on their side, right? They just do. Like France has PSG. The PSG has the French League One on their side. If they need to reschedule a game, they reschedule a game. League One, La Liga has that league on their teams on their side. If Barcelona and Real Madrid need to reschedule a game because they got a Champions League game coming up at a certain day, they'll reschedule the game.
Someone said Walter Made. Would you take him?
Would I take him? So our striker situation is a very interesting one, in my opinion. I don't think Nico Jackson's going to be the one that stays. And I understand why. I understand why people want him to stay just based off of who we've had and people's thoughts on Omega. I just don't believe he's the one that stays. He to me is there's going to be obvious sales, right? Like I think Jamie Gittins is probably the one that doesn't get sold. If anything, we find a loan for Jamie Gittins. I think Garnacho's gone. I think Neto's gone. I think Delap's gone. And then you have Jackson, Omega. I think Hughes gone. I think you have Jackson, Omega, and then you have a 10 position that needs to be filled. and then the striker position needs to be figured out, right? Like it's a figure it out type of situation. I just wonder how healthy Omega is. That's my problem. Like like my problem with Omega, it has nothing to do with his qualities. Like in my opinion, he has similar traits to Jackson, and probably is a better aerial threat than Jackson. I'm not even probably. He is a better aerial threat.
He's 6'5", no?
Correct, and he's 2-footed, like purely 2-footed. But
he's not a confident finisher. That's the negative part.
But that's where the same traits come into play. Like, yeah. But I don't think it with Jackson. It's not a confidence problem. It's an actual stylistic of how he hits the ball. He never puts his foot through shit. Like he just never puts his foot through anything. It's always side foot. Where Omega, he has the traits. He doesn't like he has the traits to be one of these top strikers. Like he actually has every trait that you need. His technical ability is at the level that it needs. The ball striking ability is there. It's just confidence. It's a confidence in his ball striking, which comes with strength. Okay, at 20 years old and the slim beam that he is, he needs to gain 10 pounds of muscle. Like he has a balance problem. Like, and once again, if you guys come on this channel, you guys hear me talk about balance all the time. Balance is one of the most key things in football. It's what makes Lionel Messi, is he's the most balanced player in football. It's what made Eden Hazard. When Eden Hazard used to say, "Oh, I used to put my bum out to block people out." Why? Because he had an unlimited amount of balance. Like that, that's why when I talk about balance, it's about how you control your body. Garnacho has no balance. Every time he hits the ball, he falls over. Like, this is why. Like, Woltemade to me would be the stylistic prototype that fits what we would be looking for. He is the stylistic prototype that I would want next to a João Pedro, which he showed me so much more than what he is this most recent year. Just like I didn't think he had the ability to do the things that he's been able to do, especially aerially, dual-wise. Like, I think he's a demon dual-wise. Like, I thought that's where he would struggle against big center backs, but when he played up against Saliba and Gabriel, he was winning every duel that he could potentially win. Like, he gave those guys nightmares. So my problem is right now, fucking if we're gonna go for Woltemade, he's there. It's just expensive as fuck, bro. Like,
and it's the prem tax, isn't it? It's prem tax.
It's just and if you're seeing how they're moving with Grimares and Tonali. Like,
as they should, though, man. I feel sorry for them because
it's no, you shouldn't though, because the reason why this is all happening is because they're so adamant about keeping Eddie Howe. The only reason all these players are being linked away from this football club is because these players had a falling out with Eddie Howe, and now Eddie Howe is still here making all the decisions. He's pretty much president of football, like. President of his brother's the sporting director. He's the manager. He's making all the fucking decisions. Their insistence in keeping Eddie Howe, especially after this recent season they had, is their own downfall. Truthfully, because they could have went and got Iraola before Liverpool sacked Slot. They could have sacked what's his face at the end of the season and got Iraola before Slot was sacked. Because Slot was sacked, what, 3-4 weeks into the summer?
And to be fair, Iraola would have been very good for them. He would have been a perfect Newcastle manager. It's a perfect natural progression. Yeah, exactly. I do think he's going to be good at Liverpool. He suits them. In terms of what their fans want to see as well. So, by the way, you said you had a few takes of mine that you didn't agree with. What did you want to break down?
All right. I didn't want to bring up your Twitter like that, but we'll go up to that.
No, because I always think
it's good for like A, I could either explain myself and then we might agree on it, or B, I just get a different perspective. And I always think that's a healthy way of A, developing yourself in any walk of life, man. Just being able to.
I kind of took this one personally, and I probably shouldn't have. I probably shouldn't have taken this personally.
Go on.
This was today. This was earlier today.
No, but the thing is, you watch it. There aren't.
That's why I took it personally. I told you. I said I probably shouldn't have taken it personally, but I probably shouldn't have.
Yo, who told? You know when we
I did watch Sunderland a lot because the other midfielder that I really like is Siddiqui. I think Siddiqui has really high.
I like Diarra as well.
Yeah,
so
Habib, we could have had Habib. We could have had Habib. He was at Strasbourg. But I took this one personally. I took this one personally.
Bro, there was like when we signed Marco Balestra, everyone was like, "Oh, you don't watch Cagliari?" I was like, "No, we don't." Like, I have a TNT subscription.
Watched him. I probably watched him 10 times. I'm like total. Like
I most probably watched him.
I watched him against Milan twice. I watched him against Como twice, and then I watched him against Inter, but I didn't. I watched him against Inter and Juventus, but I wasn't watching him for Inter. I wasn't watching him for Palestra. I was watching him for players on Inter and Juventus. So like,
and that's what I mean. Like, so when I did my research on him, I was like, yeah, this kid's cold. Like, he's absolutely cold. You can see this is a Hato level talent. This is the type of young gems I want us to buy.
Okay, so now that we've had our conversation about Xhaka, how do we feel about this? Because I did have problems with this as well.
I don't like, so for me, what I don't like about this is what I said to you, right? If he comes in directly to replace Enzo, the optics stink. You can't give me Xhaka and take away Enzo. Because you already done it with Cucurella and like we're linking, and we don't have a replacement you've promoted. And I also don't want him eating Santos's minutes. But when you say Lavia leaves, I'm perfectly fine with that. Because I can live with a world where Lavia goes and we have Xhaka.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're selling Santos for a year rental of Xhaka, I don't like that, man. Because I think Santos has got...
But yeah.
Like, I just think Santos goes somewhere.
I just don't think it's going to be Santos. Let's just put it that way. I
hope it's not. Like, for example, Joey, my question. If Santos goes tomorrow, how much is someone spending on him minimum?
Oh, right now, 70. Like, minimum, someone has to spend 70 on him. Minimum. So, with the way that the market's going right now.
So my argument is, why are we getting rid of someone who right now is a minimum 70 and could be Caicedo's long-term partner if like things click into play? Do you know what I mean? We should add someone to develop him more, but he still needs to get game time. It can't be.
So let me put this in perspective now. Okay, let's put it into perspective. Okay, we have this. Let's just say, for the sake of our conversation right now, right? We sell Enzo for 110, and we sell Lavia for 20. Okay, I'm gonna go super low. I'm gonna go super low end. Okay, we sell Lavia for 20. All right. This, and I know the reports, right? And I know the reports are saying we're not going to spend 25 on this guy, but let's just say for the sake of our conversation, it's 20. So it's an even split between Lavia and Xhaka. First and foremost, it makes the most sense. Number for number makes the most sense, right? What would you want to spend on that other midfielder?
I would want that other midfielder to be the Fermin Lopez prototype and spend whatever. Like, as in, get me someone that... So, when we were linked with Nico Paz,
you're asking for something different, though. So, like, I guess the thing with the reason why I'm asking this question is because we're going to have other exits, right? Like, there's going to be other exits in the attacking positions, right? In those attacking positions, we'll be able to address that left attacking 10 player that we're envisioning, right? Like, whoever that Morgan Rogers or whoever the fuck that person is, like if it's Andre Schleinerup, who we got linked with recently, who is not that profile, but just to have the conversation, right? If we were to replace that left 10 position, I'm assuming it's coming from the lap money, the Neto money, the Garnacho money, right?
I see. This is where we disagree, and I see where you're going, but I disagree with you.
Okay.
I think
Explain what you mean.
I think if Enzo goes, that money will be used for that 10 left inside forward position. Because I think Xhaka coming in means basically, I think the Xhaka move coming in is because Lavia's gone. I don't think they replace Enzo with a CDM acquisition. Unless they cut the money up and then they get 2 players with the Enzo money. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes sense.
And
But
that's why I'm...
It makes sense conceptually, right? Like, if you were
Yeah.
to, if you're telling me conceptually, does this make sense? It does. But realistically, there's going to be more exits, right? There's just more exits to come.
But
So,
I think there'll be a lot more exits than there'll be incomings.
I've grasped on it, right? Is like, and maybe this is they're using some of the Enzo money to fix the defense too. Like, it could be even that.
Yeah,
right? Like,
agreed.
Like like to just for the sake of our conversation, right? Like where like so if I were to tell you, I hate Morgan Rogers, by the way. Like,
I do too. I do too. So
Morgan
wherever you put him in, I'm gonna go the opposite. I can already tell.
Like, I hate Morgan Rogers. Like, let Arsenal spend as much money as they want on Morgan Rogers, bro. Like,
blow the bag, 120, pay it.
So happy. Like it's the same thing with the Van Heck situation. And I'm sorry, I'm jumping to a different conversation.
No, agreed,
But,
agreed.
Like Van Heck and Morgan Rogers were like, you get them, we're not going anywhere. Like, bro, like, that's how I felt about it. Like, it doesn't give me any... All right, so let's just say, who would be the player that you would want for that left 10 position? Let's just go there first.
So in a dream world, when Nico Paz was available, I loved the idea of Paz. Yeah, I would have loved the idea of Paz.
Agreed.
Like, for me, I was like, and then I got there's a tweet, I don't know if that went kind of like, it got a lot of likes. I said, I would love for our 4 options to be Estevao, Palmer, Kenda, and Nico Paz in behind the striker. Mm-hmm. I got cooked because we can't have 4 left footers. How dare I say we have 4 left footers? But for me, it's like quality matters, man. Like, give me the 4 quality left footers, then a balance option that is nowhere near the same level.
I just want people to take this for an understanding. We're dealing with one of the stingiest motherfuckers in the business.
Yeah.
When we talk about Floyd. So like as much as we want Gibbs White, they're not getting rid of Gibbs White and Elliot Anderson in the same window. It's just not happening. It's just not happening, bro. Like, I'm just telling you this for free. Not happening. Okay. And by the way, this would be a great move for Strasbourg. Thomas Frank is not this bad manager. Just fucking Spurs are just built like assholes, bro. Like,
bro, and you know what else? This is Blue Co changing one more time, because getting a manager like this is a long-term fix for a club like Strasbourg. Shouldn't be allowed to get a manager of this quality, in my opinion.
Why?
They're not. No, like, if Blue Co weren't there, Strasbourg don't get a Thomas Frank.
Oh, easy. No question.
Do you understand what I mean? Like, this is clearly Blue Co adjusting their model and dragging in a better quality manager for a club that never had that kind of pull. So hopefully that happens for them. Not that we're meant to care about.
For my 10, I want a 10 that, for my left 10, I want a guy who's more of like an actual 10 that plays like in an outside, that can take the ball to the outside and win his duels. I don't necessarily need him to go into a 3. Realistically, I just need him to win his ground duels. And when I mean his ground duels, like his one-on-ones, the ability to beat his man in a ground duel specifically. So like these are all names I like. And then obviously the name I gave you before. I'm a huge fan of Almala, but it's more of the way that you are a fan of your Georgian players. I'm a fan of Almala because he's Lebanese. Like, it's like I watched him all as soon as I found out he was Lebanese. I watched him all year. Like every game I watched him. Like, I'll tell you for free, he's better than Diamande. Like, I'll tell you this for free. He is better than Diamande. Like, Almala is better than Diamande. He might not be as good of a dribbler, but that end ball, that end product is better than Diamande. Like for sure. And Mika Getse has grown on me, but I still always have this issue with footballers attackers specifically that come from that league. I just have an issue with attackers that come from that league because they just have never felt the same type of physicality as in that league compared to coming into this league. Like that's my thing. And then obviously my biggest name in that name is Monzambi because he can do everything. He can do everything. You want him to drop into a 3? No problem. You want him to beat your man on the outside? No problem. You want, bro, and he's right-footed on top of.
There's one player that I really like, but I think will be very expensive. He's not ready for Chelsea, but I like his profile. You know, Mane at Wolves.
Oh yeah. That's an exact profile. That's exact. But he's right. He's also left-footed though.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, they're like you said earlier, they're all left-footed these days. Like all the 10s end up being. He's a very exciting product.
A lot of these guys, these names though, like a lot of these names outside of Ndai, like even Amala gets, they're not finished products. Like you're not getting finished. There's not that many finished products you can get for that role. That's the thing. Is like
the thing is you don't need a finished.
It's like,
product.
Are you going to settle for Danny Olmo? Because that's what a finished product looks like.
Yeah, agreed. And the argument is. I think we all agree, right? Estevao and Palmer are the starters, default starters. Or at least on paper. They will be the two behind Joao Pedro.
Maza, Sazloy. This Sazloy guy has ripped up the Greek league, or the Belgian league. He had 35 GA this season or something like that. Like some crazy number. So him and Getz both had crazy GA numbers this season. Both of them had like 20 plus GA in their leagues.
Yeah.
Let me keep going through your tweets because there was one other one that I knew I wanted to talk about. What's your thoughts about this Mateus Fernandez guy, bro?
Good talent now is being spoken about on a level that he doesn't belong on at the moment. And I think the Anderson fee is basically empowered West Ham to ask for money that they shouldn't be. But the market's broken. I think he's not good enough to start at the clubs he's being linked to, but he will because of the price that they're going to pay. So, for example, if Fernandez goes to Man United, I think they get worse. I don't think Fernandez, Mainu, and Bruno are as good as Casemiro, Kobe, and Bruno. I think the profile's just it's not they're not going to be physically as imposing, and that's how they won a lot of their games last year, especially when Carrick came in.
By the way, he's right-footed. He just played on the left yesterday for France.
Okay, but you agree you can have two left-footed center backs, right? It's not against.
I don't actually. Depending on the situation, though, it's really dependent on the situation, though. Like specifically, like I don't think it's like a sin, but I also have an issue with it because here's the problem, right? Is you can have a right foot on the left side, but he has to be willing to make the pass. Like that's the problem. Like if you're gonna play a right footer on the left side, he has to be willing to make the pass with his left foot. Like you can't put Trevor Chalobah on the left because he won't make a pass with his left foot. Like he just won't. He will not. He refuses to. Like that's my problem. It's like people tell me, "Oh yeah, you can," but yeah, you can in theory. You can. But if they don't pass it with their left foot, ever, then you're having, or when they pass it, it's a hospital ball. Like you're asking for trouble.
But you need to empower them, right? You need to empower them. You need to empower your center backs who you have to play it. That comes from the manager, and the coaching. I just think we make up too many reasons why things don't work. And we're almost looking for the perfect solution, where sometimes the 80% solution is better than what we currently have.
But yeah,
Like
but
give me a Lacroix on the left over a Badiashile any day at the moment.
Sure,
And
but there's a willingness to pass the ball with both feet with Lacroix. Like, that's why you can play in the center. Like there's a willingness in a it's not even an empowerment. He just knows that he has that ability. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like,
I totally understand. Who else is there?
And then what else is you believe that Lacroix is a good fit then, correct?
I wouldn't sign him if I had control of the pen, but I prefer him to Van Heck. Does that make sense? Like the names or Senesi, the names that we were linked with, I'm like, okay, cool. If this is the names that we're working with, fine, bring him.
Who would you have rather have gone for then? Because he's been my first choice.
So I really like the Sporting, but at the same time, I'm biased. I watch a lot of Sporting because of my father-in-law. So Benfica and sport. My wife's Portuguese, South African. Okay. It's a Benfica house. So whenever I'm over, if Benfica's playing or Portuguese, like Sporting or Porto are playing, I'll watch them. So you end up learning about the players and seeing them. I really like Diamonde. Like, I think Diamonde, if he goes to PSG in 18 months, we're talking about him and Pacho being proper, like a good partnership there. And everyone's saying, how did they get them for 90 million, a piece? You know? So I think Diamonde is a top centre-half waiting to blow up. I think he had one bad game against Arsenal, and it's really tainted him for the English fans.
From what I've watched from him, because obviously I watched a lot of Sporting because I wanted to watch Quenda, especially at the end of last year. I watched him a lot. He gives me he has this thing where he has the attributes to be as good as you want him to be. Like, he has all the attributes, right? Like the physical traits, the recovery pace, just like the ball playing is really good, and he has all the things. He's 6'4". But he gives me Upamecano vibes in moments. Upamecano, if you ask a lot of football coaches, would you take Upamecano? 80% of them would say yes. I'm gonna be honest, just because of all the other things Upamecano does, a lot of football coaches would be like, I would take him. But if you're telling me, is he locked in every single moment? That's where I struggle with him. That's where I really struggle with him. But he's also young, so that could come with age. Because
he's 20.
You could literally say the same thing about Pacho 3 years ago.
Yeah, bro, the range of passing on Diamonde is really impressive as well. He's someone that I think, especially, I think his release clause is 45 million this year. Euros.
That's actually pretty good.
For me, it's like a no-brainer. That's the type of risk.
For that kind of player, that's pretty good. I think the problem here comes down to Josh Achampong in the end.
But is it?
Yeah, go for it.
Isn't he a centre back? There are games where he plays centre back as well.
But he also plays right. He plays right because Pino the Boss is their center back a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Too. So
no, it's an interesting one.
Because Zeno the Boss is shorter, so they'll put two tall guys next to him. They'll put Inacio and Diamande next to him to cover the area, to cover the ball over the top. But Zeno's a better passer than all of them. He's just short.
Yeah.
So they'll play Zeno and fucking DM sometimes because of how good of a passer he is. But with Diamande, it's just it's that league, bro. I'm just gonna be. I just have a thing about that league, bro.
That league has lost trust and it's lost credibility because of the number of names that have left it and not banged the way it was meant to bang. There's another player that I really like, and I saw him live
think it was 12 months ago. So I went to Inter Milan, AC Milan for my birthday. My wife got me tickets. And I went to see Leao. I left impressed with Pavlovic. You know, the centre half?
Mm-hmm.
Monster. Like,
but he reminds me of, what's the guy?
Old school, Vidic.
No. What's the guy's name at Forest? Milinkovic.
Milinkovic.
Yes,
yeah.
That's who he reminds me of. He's just such a beast. As a box defender, he's a monster. But once again, does that translate to a team that's going to have the ball?
I don't know. And this is the thing, right? But watching him, he was so freakishly quick. He looks like he shouldn't be quick, but he was so strong, quick, read the game well.
Can I ask
honestly?
You, can I ask? This is I think my most controversial take towards against this fan base. Okay, this is my most controversial take against this fan base. Okay, I watched Levi when he was young. All right, I'm going to start here. I watched Levi when he was young, and I could see where he could translate to be a top center back. I could see it with my own eyes. It wasn't something that was benign to me. I could see it when he was at Huddersfield. You could see it with your eyes. He had all the things and the qualities that you would want in a top center back. I don't see it with Josh.
You don't?
I don't see it with Josh. I see too much erraticness. I see a ball carrier, which I don't need a ball carrier in the back line. I just don't. I don't care how good you are as a ball carrier. I do not need a ball carrier in the back line for any circumstance. There is zero circumstances in my football team that I need a ball carrier from the center back position. That's why I didn't want Van Heck. That's why I there's no circumstances that should be required for this football team. Period. I just don't see I don't see it necessary. I would rather have two ball-playing center backs and a ball carrier any day of the week. But that's just preference, okay? That's just preference. I don't even want LaCroix ball carrying, and I know he's good at it, okay? I just don't see the defensive qualities that are necessary, and maybe they'll grow, but I just don't see the necessary defensive qualities that are and he started to prove me wrong with how he defended Isak and how he defended Mateta, okay, in the first couple games of the season. But after that, it really, really got dark. And it may be manager, but every time I've watched him, it does not impress me. So I want to understand, what is it do you believe in Josh? Do you believe he should be a key part of this team next year?
No, I think Josh needs to go for his own sake. I think Josh, so remember how I said I believe players skip too many steps? I think that Levi loan to Huddersfield was imperative in making Levi who he is. I think the loan Mount had to Vitesse Arnhem is imperative to what he came and became. Reece at Wigan. Josh should be playing week in, week out, making mistakes for a Huddersfield, or, he should have had that year already under his belt. He should have been a year out of Brighton. The problem is they kept him because Maresca was insistent, let's keep him in-house, let's develop him. I think a longer term, we're going to need to see him play. I don't want him at Chelsea. I don't see people say, he played 25 games last year off the bench and he started a few. That's good. He should have played 35 starting somewhere else. He would have been better off for it. So for me, from that aspect, he needs to go. From a talent perspective, I don't think he can play right back. I think he's a liability there. He's too tall, immobile, gets off balance very quickly, and a good, competent winger takes him to task. What I do think he's good at, I think he's a good centre half. I like his positioning. I like how he's got good recovery on him. I think he's underrated.
I love this idea. I love this idea.
See, send him. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Continue.
I
love this
I
idea.
do agree what you said. You know, when you said the ball carrying's worrying, I think against low blocks, if we have him at right center back, once he's refined, you know, once he's gone away and played a year and then come back and ready to, I genuinely think he looks comfortable. He is immobile. If you put Josh as a right back, am I out?
He's immobile compared to the standard of winger.
Fullbacks. Yeah,
To
like
the standard of
you
winger.
leave him on an
If you're
island
telling me he's
one-on-one.
immobile to the standard of striker, I'll probably say you're wrong. But if you're talking about how a winger would go in the wide area, how would you defend a winger? He would just have to shove him outside and allow him to cut inside. Because if you let him go inside, that cutback's going to be there every time for him. So it's like,
Put it this way. Josh is one of those talents where
if we replace Josh with Ordonez, right? Josh is gone. He's gone.
You'd sell him.
He's never coming back. Ordonez would never let him come back. Like, period.
Is he that good?
He's that good, bro. He's that good.
Okay.
Or, like, especially as a channel defender, this kid is as good as anybody that
You watch German football. I can ask you because you're one person that. So I haven't watched Tap Sober for a while, maybe a good 12 months. What's he developed into?
A ball playing, a mobile center back. I would say he's close to Van Heck without the ball carrying.
Okay.
Like, he's good at ball playing. But it's channel defending, it's ball over the top in recovery. Those are the things that you're going to see. As a box defender, he's very good. But once again, when you have a player like Tapsoba, what do you put around him to defend his deficiencies? Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Even you can use Chalba as an example, right? When you had Thiago Silva next to him, all he needed to do was either get the ball to the outside or pass it to Thiago Silva, who would make all the decisions. When Thiago Silva was smart enough to be able to make sure that he was covered, but he knew that he needed to cover behind Trevor whenever necessary. He knew that that's where he needed to be a lot of the times. Like, I think he's a good channel defender. But I think Ordonez is a world-class channel defender. That's the difference.
Interesting.
Like, I think he has the traits to be in a 2 that Josh can't be in a 2. Like, you'd have to play Josh in a 3. Like, that's the way I see it. Like, that's the way
Do you know with Josh, it's the idea of him that's good. I think he needs to go and play. Like, I'm so against him staying next year. I don't want to be in a place where he's third choice, you know? Like, not the first choice centre back off the bench. Even if he's first choice centre back off the bench, if everyone stays fit, he's not playing. How many times do you change your centre backs like a game in a season? Unless someone gets
how much it depends on. I agree with that point, right? Especially with one game a week. With one game a week, I do believe he needs to go, no matter what, in my opinion, on loans, preferably. But the big thing for me in him is game time, and I just don't see game time at this football club for him. So I think he just needs to go.
Because I think
I also don't think he's ready yet. Like, and that's okay. He's not. And if you were to tell me Liverpool were to put down $60 million for Josh right now, I'd say go ahead, bro, take him. Take him. That's what I would say. I would say take him, bro. At $60 million, take him, bro. Like, it is what it is at that point. Like, I'm buying Ordonez like this for 40. I'm buying Ordonez like this. I'm fixing this defense with that money.
So my logic right now is our centre backs. I'm assuming Lacroix's done, okay? In my head, I feel like there are 4 people in the pecking order still ahead of Josh. I think Levi, Lacroix, and then one of Hato or Chalobah is still ahead of him.
I think
So
Chalobah's
if
gone, but that's
not
another-
Chalobah, sorry, Fofana. My
Yeah.
bad. Fofana. So I think Fofana might be on the right. Then you get Lacroix through the middle, Colwell on the left, or Colwell in the middle, Hato on the left, Lacroix on the right. And then he's fifth choice now.
Yeah.
You know, like Fofana's ahead of him. And I know the chat hate Fofana, and I know a lot of people are annoyed with Fofana not being the world-class player that we thought he was going to get into. But I also think a good manager could get a lot more out of Fofana than we saw towards the end of the season. I'll be honest.
1 second. I just have to check something because I didn't put 2 and 2 together. 1 second. Okay, I was gonna make sure I was gonna make sure he's not the same. They're not brothers. I was just like, we did sign a kid with the last name Ordonez from Ecuador recently. Like, are they related? I was just
That
I
guy's
just
a
had to
centre
check.
half too, no? He's 16
Yeah, he is
centre
a
half.
centre half too. He's like 18, 17, 18. Denner Ordonez.
Man, the Kendry Pius thing's really sad, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
kid got
that's
money.
the risk.
Like,
He's 16, by the way, the kid that we signed. That's the risk you take when you
buying the kids.
when you buy kids from these countries, because now they have it actually has nothing to do with his talent. It has everything to do with his attitude. Like, everything to do with his attitude is wrong. Like, he just has taken football the wrong way. He's taken it as a job to fund his lifestyle, not a lifestyle itself. And that's the problem. And like when you buy someone from the favelas and you give them money, there's only 1 or 2 ways this goes. Like, he either accepts the money and is grateful for the opportunity to continue to make money, or he goes down the other path. So, like, just kind of the way it works, right? Like, kind of how it all works out.
Whoa, sure, many. What a link.
I'm right here. It's right here on the screen.
Oh, imagine.
We're gonna talk about it. That's what I had it up on the screen.
What a fucking link. I like
it
this.
came up. This will be the last thing we talk about. We almost went 2 hours, so I didn't want to take this long. But
Nah, bro, I'm enjoying talking to you, so it's all good.
And we've had nearly 80 people here. I don't know how many likes we have, but this is there's probably not much more going on in the football spaces, but make sure you guys like the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you subscribe. Because I'm seeing some names in here I haven't seen before, so make sure we have 36 likes and we have 77 people in here. Come on, guys, we gotta do a little better than that, I'm trying to play some Football Manager and clean my house. I got laundry to do. I can't do another hour. Anyways, I do find it interesting that Enzo wants to leave now, because it's like the managers that you're going from to actually doesn't make sense for your progression. Like, I get the Madrid move. Like, nobody's gonna tell me. I'm never gonna tell a player, "Oh, I'm linked to Madrid and Madrid want me. I want to go to Madrid." I'm never gonna say to them, "Don't do it," because the money's probably better, the status is better, the just for your accolades and for your lifestyle, it's probably better than living in England, living in Madrid.
Way better.
It's just better for your life. And I get that. But if we're just talking about your football progression, playing for this manager and Xabi Alonso is better than playing for Jose Mourinho at this current moment in history, this current moment of what Jose Mourinho is.
I agree with you, but you know what I think it is? It's as simple as when he was a kid, the end goal was always Madrid. And there's a line that Leslie Ogochukwu once said that for me just resonates all the time. Some trains don't come twice.
Nephew.
And I think this Enzo saga will be disgusting after the World Cup. Because if Madrid bid something like 95 million or 100 million, I reckon Enzo is going to do the most. I'm not coming back to training, live streams. You know, he'll basically make it untenable for us to keep him. There'll have to be a resolution. Like, if Madrid tell him you're our number one option, I think he's as good as gone. Alonso can try to stop it all he wants. I think they're the only club that can get him to act the way he's going to act for them, if that makes sense.
I know that.
And it's sad because I think there's so much development in him that could be brought out by Xabi Alonso. Like, you know, the profile Xhaka was for Alonso. Enzo could gain those assets. You know, like, he could be the guy that just dictates the game nicely and doesn't do the whole box crashing. I don't know how him and Bellingham and Valverde is going to work in a midfield three, by the way.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I still don't know what they do for the right wing. I still don't know what they do at striker.
I'll tell you what they're going to do right wing. You're not going to like it. And they're going to play Dumfries there. I know Jose well enough. Like, he's going to compensate for Vinny and Mbappe by playing in the big games. Dumfries on the right wing with Carvajal behind him, or like he'll find a way to be super compact, or Bernardo Silva will go on the right wing.
Yeah,
with
Bernardo
Dumfries.
Silva. I can definitely see Bernardo Silva over there.
Do you understand what I mean? That he's basically going to compensate for their lack of work rate by making them more solid and boring to watch, and we're just going to hit you on the counter. That doesn't suit
Valverde
Enzo.
right wing. You know, play Valverde right wing and
and then Dumfries
Silva
behind
in the
him.
midfield behind Valverde and Enzo, and then fucking.
Bro, if I'm Goulet, I'm getting out of there. Goulet needs to go. Like Diaz. If you're not 5'10", Jose's not playing you, man. Like Jose, like he literally, if you're short and not stocky, you're in bigger trouble. Yeah, this is why I'm shocked that
he's gonna play on the counter. Like, we've never seen a team play on the counter in our entire lives. He might play Jude up top, bro. He might play Jude up top.
Jude up, but we've already seen links that Jose wants to play Mbappe further away from goal so that he's running towards it more.
I just don't know. Does that mean he plays on the right? Like, that's the whole problem, though. Is like, what do they do with Vinny? Right? And I could definitely see him playing Jude up top. Like, I could definitely see Jose playing Jude up top.
Bro, it's an expensive problem as well. Like, benching one of Vinny and Mbappe is... If the minutes results go bad, the first thing fans are going to say is, why are they on the bench? And then you lose the dressing room. Like, they're influential characters.
Would you take Tchouaméni?
Yeah. Like, he's not the perfect profile, but I don't think you can turn your back on him. I'm one of those, give me as much talent as you can and we'll make it work. My manager should be able to figure out how to get a system.
Are you guys taking Tchouaméni?
No, I wouldn't think twice. I wouldn't take Camavinga.
Let me ask you, would you take 60 plus Tchouaméni?
Yeah. The reason is, I think it's a ticking time bomb until Enzo goes to Madrid. So rather than just straight cash, give me a top tier player in return. Does that make sense?
It makes it quicker. It makes the deal quicker, you're saying.
Yeah, it makes the deal quicker, and I've got a solution. You know, like, I think I've got Francis starting centre midfielder. That's a good player to have. Like, Tchouaméni, he's a very good player, man. Like,
so now, all right, we'll just for the sake of our conversation, a pivot options of Andre Santos, Caicedo, Xhaka, Tchouaméni.
Perfect. You won't hear me complain. Enzo can go. I'll understand why the club sold him, and they got me two very good replacements. And I think we're a better unit now than we were last year.
Chat, how do you feel about that four, chat? I'm just curious. About that four. We have four pivot options for two positions, right? Caicedo, Santos, Xhaka, Tchouaméni.
Wages, spot on.
Yeah,
Wages would be an
that's
issue.
a good point. The wages on Chouameni would be an interesting conversation.
Because I think he's on 220 now.
Yeah, let's take a quick look. I could probably figure that out in a couple seconds.
Yeah. I do think when Anderson's on 300, you kind of have to pay players more. Like, Rice is on 220. Gravenberch is on 300 nearly. Szoboszlai, no, not Szoboszlai. Odegaard's on 225.
240 euros.
He's on 240.
240. I
210
mean, that's
pounds.
realistically like what we would pay Caicedo. That's realistically what we pay Caicedo.
By the way, do you have any clue what Chelsea are offering? Or have you seen any like reports what Chelsea are offering Enzo that his agents rejected?
No, I
Neither.
haven't anything specific. Nothing specific.
So I find it so hard to talk about this situation because if they're offering him 250 and he's saying no, and he wants 300, my question is, okay, I understand
we just
why you want
got
300.
100 people on this channel naturally with no thumbnail.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming to the channel, guys. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. Like this is just this whole thing just is it's puzzling to me. Like in so many ways. Like I get why Enzo wants Madrid. I don't get why Madrid wants Enzo. I don't get why fit wise for us and for Madrid doesn't make sense. Like for him, for us, it's like he actually fits us. He doesn't fit Madrid, and like the money aspect of it makes even less sense. Like not that he's not supposed to cost that much. But like Madrid spending that money, right, just doesn't make a ton of sense, right? And
it'll cost at least with Anderson going for 116. Chelsea,
we're gonna ask for more. We're gonna have
it's 130.
Yeah, we are gonna ask for more than Anderson. Like that's the thing, like that we are gonna want more than Anderson.
And
I think Connor. I think if we were to guess Connor, that's pretty close, bro. I think that's pretty close to.
Yeah.
Like
and I think that's
it's
fair.
Like the whole thing. The whole thing is like, okay, like Jose historically hates these kind of players. First and foremost, like Jose historically has not played these kind of players. Second, it's like he just this whole thing with Xabi Alonso, it's like, bro, like if there's a better manager to learn from for your role, Xabi Alonso is probably one of the best you could learn from. Like that's what it is, Benjamin. It's Perez signing. Like he sees a guy, he wants guy, he gets guy. Like that's literally it in the end. It's like there's nothing more to it other than that.
I also think they wanted Rodri, and they couldn't get him. I think Rodri was their first pick, and I think Man City just wouldn't play ball. So now they're settling.
Why though? Why? That doesn't make any sense. Because Rodri's last year on his contract, he's not re-signing. Like, why wouldn't they play ball?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It actually doesn't make sense why City wouldn't play ball. Like, if that was true, like...
But do you not remember last year with Bernardo Silva? Clubs were willing to pay 30, 40 million, and they said no. And they just let him run down his contract.
That's also... I also believe that's partly due to Pep.
But do you not think that they're thinking if we lose Rodri the same time we lost Bernardo Silva, Stones, and Pep,
That's just way too much change. And we need to keep Rodri for an element of continuity for the new manager. Because that you can't lose that many pieces and not expect a drop-off.
I don't disagree with that, right? I think you're right about that part of it. I just find it very difficult to grasp financially. I get the whole other side of it. It just you also have to consider losing players financially for like on freeze, right? Like you losing a player on a free is once again a nightmare financially. So, and maybe I'm wrong for looking at it that way, right? Like maybe I'm wrong for not looking at it on more of the sporting way. But once this time of year comes around, my financial brain turns on. So like I don't like I get this point. But bro, they're just spending so much fucking money. Like they're just spending so much fucking money, bro. Like and I get they make good profit on their academy. Like they make good money on their academy. They're one of the best in the business about making profit on their academy. But for fuck's sake, like you're spending 100 on this guy, you want to spend 80 on Buadi, you want to spend 60 on fucking Gusto. Like, where are the sales? You still got Grealish on fucking 300 bags a week, sitting on your bench, not doing nothing. Is he gonna come back and play football? Like what they spent? They just spent another 100 million in the January window. They spent 100 million in the last January window, the January window before. It's like they just keep spending without no ramifications. Like
maybe there's some ramifications coming, and we don't know.
That's a good point. That might
maybe they know something.
They're spending money now because they might have ramifications for later.
And they're like, fuck it, we're not going to get hurt any more than we're already going to get. So
we're probably getting a couple transfer bans here coming up soon, probably.
And
I would assume like that's the bare minimum they get from the 105, like is transfer ban.
We got what, a whole year for Gael Kakuta? So I can only imagine how much they're going to get.
Yeah. They said they're preparing for a ban. Yeah, like I think that's bare minimum. If we're talking about like what they would get, like, because I don't like realistically, like the worst that could happen is they could just get relegated. They could just relegate them. I don't think it'll get that far. So like they have to impose something. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be imposing some. They have to impose something on them after 105. Like we at least got a fine. If it's a fine, you know. Yeah, and it was supposed to be 2. You're right. I think it was supposed to be a 2-year ban for us, and we negotiated it down to 1.
Interesting.
But yeah, I that thing is like these players that they're buying have giant wages, so I don't expect them to get like huge money for them.
Isn't Marmouche on like 300K or close to like 280? Like it's something stupid like that.
Yeah, he's like 315 or something like that.
Like, that's the one good thing about Blueco's strategy. We can offload anyone and everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they want to offload someone,
if they don't work out, they're on low enough wages where it's reasonable for us to get rid of them.
Especially because they're on incentive base. Like Simon Jordan was talking about it and he was explaining it. Because they're on incentive-based contracts, the base is so low that it opens up the market to Italy even. Because then you'll just tell the player, I won't play you. Your base is 60K. Just go somewhere where you're guaranteed 90 and you're playing.
Yeah.
And the player will go.
What center backs do you think, before I close this off, because I'm going to close this off here in a second. What center backs do you think leave? Which ones of them do you think leave?
Chalo goes. Badiashile goes. Anselmino goes on loan. I think Toussaint stays. And I think Toussaint stays for non-footballing reasons. I think being Palmer's best friend helps. I think he's liked in the squad. Disasi goes, of course.
I wouldn't be surprised if Toussaint got sold, but I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed.
Yeah, and I also think with Toussaint, I don't think Toussaint doesn't strike me like the type of player that wants to play. I think
or cares to play. At least cares to play.
I think he's very happy on the 110 he is on a week. He's on 110K a week. He knows he's got a few years left on his contract. He lives in London. He's happy. He's comfortable. He gets to tell people
he can ride out his contract and be all right.
Because I think he knows it doesn't get better than this.
Yeah.
It's relegation battles and then maybe potentially back in the championship. So he's like, no, I'll just live the better quality life here. And listen, it was Chelsea's fault for giving him such a contract. So guess what? Hold it now. But I think someone like a Badiashile, he needs to go play because I still think that there's a decent player in there, man.
Just curious. Oh, yeah, he only has 2 years left.
Who, Toussaint?
So, yeah.
So, thing is, how much can we realistically get for him? 10 million? 12?
5-10 million, probably.
Yeah, 5-10, because he's got him for free.
I would think somewhere around there.
Yeah, 12 of them. Man, he's shit. He actually is so bad. He'd most probably be good in a team that box defends, but he's so bad for us.
That's the thing. There's a lot of these guys probably be good for a team that box defends. That's why Disasi looks so good.
Yeah. And Disasi's a natural leader. Just look at the way he took over that whole West Ham back line, and they loved him. The fans adored him. I think if West Ham stayed up, he would have already been a West Ham player. Or the deal would have been agreed where he joins them 1st of July as soon as the new fiscal year starts, as you said. But now I don't know where he goes. And it's another... Because I don't think he wants to live in Birmingham. Because there was a report that came out that that's why he didn't want to go to Villa. He wasn't happy playing right back and he didn't like living there. He wants to either live in London or go back to France.
I think anybody that's in England that gets an opportunity that goes to Italy should take the chance to go to Italy.
Yeah, I can see Disasi being brilliant for Amorim in that back three.
I mean, not even that. If Tosin gets a sign, if Genoa comes in for Tosin or someone like that comes in for Tosin, I'm going. Fuck it, bro. I'd rather get paid and live in a nice country than fucking. That's the way I look at shit. It's if I'm at the end of my fucking career, I'm not gonna. I'd rather go live somewhere nice like Spain or Italy than be stuck on the bench in snowy, rainy England. I'm that's the way I look at things.
Joey, I will say, have you ever been to London?
Mm-hmm.
London.
It's nice to live in London. I will give you that.
Yeah, I promise you, London's very nice.
But I would say, is it nice for your 35, 33, 34-year-old person to
But the thing is, they don't.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Or as a single man, I totally get it, right? I totally get it, the lifestyle of it, all of it, I get it. But as an older player with their community's already grown, and maybe might be wrong about this. I personally would rather live in a warm place. That's the key. I live in the desert now. I moved from New York to the desert. There's a reason for that. I want to be somewhere warm. So that's the way I see things, man.
I agree. And I think that's the key, right? I think if it's about weather and its pace of life, then I understand why someone would want to move. But there are really nice outskirts of London. There are really nice areas where, bro, the lifestyles, especially having the money they have,
Yeah,
It's not
they
like,
can do-
you know,
I can hear you.
they can do whatever they want. And
Yeah,
if they want some sun, they can go 4 times a year, you know, and get out for 2
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
Like,
Okay,
it's
that's
not
fair.
every day.
And for someone like Tosin, who's probably been in London his entire life, like I hear that. Why leave?
Like,
something
it's
that you're
not like,
accustomed to?
yeah, especially with London, like, you know, the players from like Europe that come to London,
Mhm.
they'll find their community in London easily, man. Like, London's so multinational. You can find any
Yeah.
language, any type of food, any
Yeah,
like
you go get whatever food you want. It's like
whatever
that.
you want. Yeah, honestly, anyone I ever meet that's gone to New York, they say New York is London on steroids. Like, it's
Yeah.
just bigger, you know, the volumes. So I just think it's one of those things. Like, I think leaving London's the hard part for a lot of players. You heard the Benteke thing, didn't you? Like, when he joined Aston Villa, he thought it was in on the outskirts of London, only to arrive to Heathrow. Got in the cab, and it was 2.5 hours later, and then he literally said he was going to pull out, and they had to pay him an extra 30K a week for him
Because he
to
was
sign.
in an hour and a half away from London.
It was, bro. It's like, I think by drive, it's like 2.5 hours drive from London to Birmingham. Like,
All right.
I remember that
Well-
story. It was just tough. Like,
That's awesome. I didn't know about that actually. That's actually awesome. I'm gonna actually read about that now. I love those kind of stories.
bro, but like, I questioned his
the
agent.
story
I
of,
don't know
like-
how his agent told him.
Yeah, I just love those stories of like the Robinho story is like one of my favorite stories ever. Like of him like being like, I'm going to Manchester United, and he's holding a white blue jersey up. Like that shit is just comical to me. Like, how do you get to this point? Like all the way to this point of like you're signing a contract and you don't even know where you're going. Like that shit is always like so mind-boggling to me, man. Like that you could get all the way to a point of saying, yeah, I'm gonna sign this contract, to saying I don't know where I'm going. Like
I don't know
and
how you
not
don't
have
know.
that be a part of your decision making. It's just mind-boggling.
It's nuts. Like, it's absolutely nuts. Like, can you imagine? He fully was ready to go. Arrived in London, got in a and he ended up going up there. And it's like he only just realized, oh shit, it's far away. What a muppet, like.
All right. I'm gonna close this up. Alexis, thanks for joining us, bro. We'll do this.
Nah, man,
again.
I had fun.
Like, I'm sure.
Yeah,
we'll
we
do this
definitely
again.
will. Like, it
All
was
right,
really
everyone,
fun.
take care. Have a good rest of your weekend. Watch some of these World Cup games. You know, we got round of 32 coming up here soon. You'll probably see me somewhere on Flawless's channel during these games. I like to jump on Flawless's channel and talk against you Englishmen when I can. But anyways, take care, and we'll see you guys soon.
Peace out.